Just we wait for 1 or 2 minutes and then we start our lab sessions. Once again, good morning, student. Let's we start our lab sessions, and most of students are joined. So now today we go through practical 2 as per the your GTU syllabus. And now the practical 2 that is the title Basic Windows and Linux or either Ubuntu Shell Command. It means we go for two OS, one Windows and second that is the Ubuntu or either Linux, where we learn that a basic command, and we also get informations regarding the that OS, and that is your second practical. And as per the computer department, that is the last practical. So that is the official last lab sessions. Yes, first of all, we go through what is the meaning of command. The command that we called a set of instructions used to perform a specific work. Now, which type of specific work? Like I have to know my IP address, like I have to make a one folder, I have to delete some file. So that type of instructions where we go for a command prompt, and that we called a set of instruction, or that we called a command also. No one student can type your name and enrollment number in chat box for the attendance purpose. So now as we discussed the command that we called a set of instruction used to perform a specific task. Now which type of specific task? Like I have to create one folder, like I have to delete that folder, like I have to delete some file, I have to see what are the list of file available in specific directory, then I have to know IP address. So that type of many more specific task where you can do for through a command line, and that is we called a command. Okay, what is the meaning of set of instruction? Now how the command it can work? So it's interpreted by the OS interpreter to a machine language. It means for example, if I am write mkdir ram, it means the meaning of mk, so that we call make a directory and the name that is a ram. It means it's understand by the OS. Okay, meaning of what is the mkdir, the OS understand, or we called a interpret to machine language. It convert into the machine language where it can be a understand. I have to create one directory, and that is the name we called a RAM. Then we go through like we are aware about Windows OS. So like Windows, that is the way called very easy to do any action, like if you create a file, copy, move, delete, and like if you go for any personal work in a Windows that you have to do, like if you're watching the movie, play a game, make a PPTs, Excel, PowerPoint presentations, or many more things where you can do it, making a website. So that all thing we can do for the Windows OS, and that is the easy to task where we have to do based on our requirement as per the daily life. Now we require some instruction which can execute by the that icon, like a DOS operating system. Like maybe if you can aware about, okay, when we purchase a laptop or desktop, so we have a two category. The one we call like a DOS operating system. It means okay, whatever system that you have to perform in this, they have not installed any operating system. And also right now many more system its market available, okay, where they have to integrate with a specific OS like a Windows OS or Linux OS, so that we do have a icon like a Windows or either DOS, and then we have to like create a folder instruction as per our requirement. So that is the meaning we in Windows OS. So let's we discuss about Windows versions. So maybe if you can aware about the, we go for like oldest version, the Windows XP. Then after they have to introduce a Windows 7. Then after they have to introduce a Windows 8. Then updated version Windows 8.1. And currently they have to release that is a Windows 10. Right now, if you purchase any laptop or desktop, they have to provide it a Windows 10 system. So these are the basic version of Windows that you are aware about it. Let's we start our practical where we go for like a 10 basic command for a Windows OS, and then after we go for the like a Linux or Ubuntu OS, where also learn that a basic 10 command, and that is our second practicals. So now the first command that is the IP configure. So that is the short form, and if you expand, so that is the full form is Internet Protocol Configurations. Now, what is the meaning of Internet Protocol Configuration? So, like if you use the internet in your system, so it's required to generate one unique IP address. And like for example, that I have to like know what is my IP address, and full form of IP that we call a Internet Protocol. That it is like if you know in a Windows, so that you have to go for a CMD command prompt, okay, where you get all network configurations value as well as a dynamic host configuration protocol, DHCP protocol, DNS protocol, and that different setting, so that you get from the all detail, and that is the basic command that we call IP configure, okay, where we get IP address detail, DNS details, and some other detail also. So let's we go for that command, how it's look like. So now I have to open start menu of a Windows, where I have to press a CMD. So now the full form of CMD that we called a command prompt, and that is the default available in all Windows platform. So first of all, we have to open a CMD command prompt. Let's, as we discussed, we open the CMD and that we called a command prompt, which is a default available in all Windows platform. So let's we continue for first command, that is IP config. Now have type IP config and then have to press the enter. So now you go for like a list. So where we like focus on a list of detail. that is IP config. So now you can see Windows IP configurations, where you can get a different detail like Ethernet, wireless LAN, adapter, that all. There is a questions. What is command prompt? That is a command line interpreter. So now in command prompt, where you can get a IP address related detail. Also, you know the domain, like a domain that is a MEFGI, what is IP address, that subnet detail, that default. So that all detail where you get from the IP config command. Now the next command that we have a ping command. Now generally a ping command that is check for the connection for your computer and another computer via TCP IP. It means if you check in your system, okay, whether my internet is working or not, then how I am not. Okay, if I already connected in a Wi-Fi, or if I connected through like some line cable, and then I have to know, okay, like my internet is working or not. So now you have to just open a CMD command prompt, and in a command prompt where you have to type a ping, the command that we call a ping, ping, then space where you have to mention any website name, any website that you know. But generally, like we go for a Google, that is a know by the every persons. Like I have to type a ping and space google.com, and then you have to press a enter. So now you can see the result. It's a send a 4 packet. So now you can see the 4 packet sent, 4 packet lost. Sorry, 4 packet receive. That means your internet it will be a active and it's a connected. For example, if you receive a lost packet, it means your internet services it will be a not working. So that is the command that we called a ping, where it can be send a small packet information to a computer, which can return if connection it's a found or lost. Where here you can see the packet, all packet are receive. It means the connection it will be a working. My internet it will be a working. But if I get any lost packet, it means the internet it will be a not working. So that is the second command that we called a ping, where we have to check whether internet is working or not. Now the next command that is a traced. So it is similar like to a ping command, okay, where usually we see the network packet, okay, how many sent as well as the receive, and based on that we have to get okay, whether a connection is working or not. And also you have to get the result, okay, how many packet it will be left. Yes, that is one good questions. Why command prompt is invented? That is the basic features that we called. Okay, how I know okay, whether my system is working or not with a internet connection. So that is the default way where you can do most of common tasks through a command prompt. So that is the reason from the inventations regarding the command prompt. Same like a question, okay, why a computer is invented? Because they have to reduce a human work computer. So same the command prompt that also reduce your basic instruction task, where you can easily do for sorry you can easily go for command prompt, okay, where like if I do some things, okay, where I have to check it. Let's we go for same things. In a previous slide I have discussed a ping command that is used for the checking the internet. Now another way, okay, how I know okay, my internet is working or not. So that's why like I have to open any browser. In browser I have to type any website address, and then might be it take some loading time, and then if I get that website open, that means your internet's working. But another way, you directly open a CMD where you can ping and type any website name. So that is the easy way to know. There's a question. I think we can also run Python and C also. Yes, you can also run Python and C, but that's why you install that tool, that software. Also, they have to install that command line interpreter, and then you can go for a CMD. So let's we go for next command. Here at present they have to like send a same as a ping command few network packet request, and where they have to you get that a DNS address detail regarding that a specific. So here you can see I have typed google.com. So these are the domain service for Google which are currently working. Mm, there is a question, sir. Is a zero ping should be available? Or no, it's not available. So it's I think take a 1 to 2 minute time for the trace out. Now you can see the trace. It will be a complete. So here you can see that these are the domain request for currently working on my system for the google.com. And also you can see the time what exactly they have to check for that command. So that we called a trace command. So let's we move to a next command. The next command, that is a dir directory. So where we have to represent a subdirectory. For example, if I know in a D drive how many folder it's available, in a E drive how many folder available, in a C drive, or in a like specific folder how many file it's available. So that's why you have to go for the command that we call a directory, and short form that is a dir. So like in a max that is currently my locations. If I type a dir, it's give me the list of all a folder and file which is available in my user. So here you can see the folder like contact, desktop, document, download, favorite, link, music, OneDrive, picture, then PyCharm, that is a Python, default folder, a SAM, gave search, and video. So these are the all default directory which is currently available in my Max drive. There's a questions. If we run a Python programming in a command prompt, then we can also save this program. Yes, you can also save this program through a command prompt line. You can save it as well as you can edit it also. Both option it's available. And that all things where you learn in a fifth semester when you have a Python subject. So that is the command that we called a directory. Now the next command that we have a cd. The meaning of cd that we called a change a directory. Like for example, in a C drive too, I have to go for like a D drive or any another folder. Then you can use a cd command. So let's like cd and like I'm space and then write down a dot. So that is the meaning of where you have to left from the current directory. Like you can see, I have to remove from a mix, and now I have to like go for that directory. So then I have to write down cd space and that directory name. So that is the max. Now the question is, after the cd, how I know which are the list of sub directory or sub file it's available. That's why first of all you have to go for a previous command, that is the dir. Then you have to type a dir. Like you see, mm, like we go for the link, or like we go for the document, or like we go for the link command. So then you have to write down cd and links. Now you can see I have to move into the link folder, and where also you can see that list of the directory if any available or not. And if you go back for that directory, so that is the command cd space dot dot. Now next command, like if you deleted any file, then how you can delete that a specific file. So that's why you have to write a simple write down a delete, then in a double element comma that file name with that extension. Like I have to first of all go for desktop, and then like dir, and then after, like for example, if I delete sql injection file, so then I have to write down delete sql, sorry, in double unit comma sql injection dot txt and double unit comma. It means it's deleted that file. And like if you deleted a more file, so then again in double unit comma like abc dot txt, so that also run like one more file like xyz dot txt, that also you can delete it multiple. After the space you can write down another file name. That is the next command that we call a delete file. Now next, like if you create any directory like mkdir, the meaning of mk, that we call a make a directory. And similar next command, that is rm. So now meaning of rm, that is the remove directory. It means it will be a deleted that directory. So let's right now I'm a desktop, and like go for the dir command. So these are the three files and four folder it available in right now on my desktop. So like I have to create mkdir and then a workshop subject folder. Again I repeat, mkdir, the meaning of mk, that we call a make directory, and then the name is a workshop, and like I have to put a space, sorry, a enter. So now if you not get any error, it means your directory it will be a created. So now the questions, how I know whether a directory is created or not. So again you have to run a command a dir. Now you can see the directory workshop it will be a created. And if you go for the comparison with your previous command, you can see the previous all are the similar. One is c1 image, my timetable, new folder, sql injection, and then after you can see the one more directory that will be added a workshop that created. Like now for example, I have to deleted that workshop folder which I have to created. So that's it, a command that we call rm dir, then space that directory name workshop. So now again I'm not get any error, it means it's a successful run that command. And now again I run the command dir. So now you can see the result. The workshop folder, it will be not available. So that is the two command: make a directory and remove a directory. Yes, good questions. What is the difference between delete and rm? So now delete, that is for the specific file, like I have a PowerPoint file, presentation file. So that you have to delete it. Then you have to write a del, a del, then after specific name. But like if you remove entire folder, and in this all whatever file it will be available, then you can directly use a command that we called rm dir. It means I have like a folder workshop. In this I have to put like html presentations, then windows command presentation, lab manual, then different 2 3 file which will be available. So that's why you have to write down delete command with that 7 file name. But if you like delete that entire folder, so you can use a rmdir. I hope you get the answer. So let's we move to next command. Now the last two command, that is for Windows, ms info 32. So now the ms info 32, which give the detail regarding a hardware resource, that component, as well as the software resource. So let's we go for that example. ms info 30, and then press the enter. Now you can see the one screen it's open. It's a visible system informations. Just anyone give me the reply. The screen is visible. System informations. Okay, thank you for your reply. So now here you can see the three component: hardware, component, and a software. Like if I click on the hardware, so it's give the list of all hardware detail. Like if I go for IO port, memory, same way like I go for a software like a system drive. And like if you click on the summary, so it's a give a basic all detail regarding that a system which you have to know. Like I have which OS installed. I have installed a Windows 10 Pro. What is the that a current version of Windows? So that is like a 10.0.18368. Then any other OS it's available. It means if I have a dual OS or not, that available, to that detail it will be a represent. Then what is the manufacturer, then system name, which system I have, a Lenovo, which model, which processor, 64-bit, 32-bit, so that is a 64-bit, that CPU name, which a processor, the i5 7th generation with clock speed, that BIOS version, that all a basic detail here you can get. Like what is the RAM, the 8 GB RAM, total physical RAM currently which is available, virtual, uh, how many drive, that all detail you can get here. So that is command ms info 32, where you can get a basic detail regarding the system. Now the next command, that is a system info, where you can get a detail regarding operating system, then system configurations, then a RAM, that property, hardware, disk space, network card reader. So now you can see I have typed a system info 32. Again, most of the system detail are similar, where ms info it's open a new console, and here you can get from the terminal, or we call a command prompt. Same host name, which OS version, number of RAM, physicals, But here also you get network card details, DHCP, IP address, that all informations. So these are the basic command for a Windows. But if you go for the in detail, so it's have like a 1000 plus command. If you go for the each and every command, it's take a entire semester. But basic command that we aware about it, like how we create a directory, remove it, then how we change the directory, how we see that directory. So that all a basic command we learn it. Now we move to Linux command. So let's parallelly I have just start my virtual machines where we go through a Linux OS. So let's we go for Linux. So we have mostly two ways. The one Windows that we get a detail. Now the next that we called Ubuntu or we called Linux. So now in a Linux where maybe you are aware about many more that a subcategory like Kali, Backtrack, Parrot, Metafoils, Ubuntu different version. So that all are the part of the Linux OS and that all command most of are the similar okay, where we go for that terminal because in a Windows where we have a command prompt, but if you go for the Linux OS where we have a terminal through we run that all basic command. Now the first command that is like a id, so that a display who a current user are execute. It means it's give the user name related a detail which a currently user as you have to log in. So that is the basic meaning of a id. Then next that we have a PWD. Now the meaning of PWD is that represent which is your home directory and which a subdirectory right now that you have to available. That means it's give the absolute path okay, that you starting which is exact root, what is that root a base file that it will be available like a home that username that's it's represent that entire path. So that is two basic command id and a pwd. So let's we go for that output. So that is the home page for a Linux Kali system. And here you can see the list of application that is a default all software which will be available. And here if you go for the second, that is you can now see the it's represent as a terminal. So now I click on terminal. So now the terminal it will be a open. So now as I said the first command that is the id. I have just typed a id and then press the enter. So here you can see what is the that a user. The initially I have a zero user, zero any root, zero that a group id and as well as that a general category. So that all currently are a root and as a zero. So that is the meaning of a id. There is a questions which app you download for using the Linux. I have currently go for a VMware workstations. Again, I repeat, VMware workstations. Now the next command that we have pwd. So now you can see the pwd, it's give the path of which currently where you have to present. I have to currently present as a root. So now you can see the output. It's a represent a slash root. Now the current path, that is my root. Now for example, if you are in root, then like in home folder, then like in a home, sorry, in download folder. If currently you are located, so then it's give that entire path. So that is a basic two command, id and pwd. Now the next command that we have ls. The meaning of ls that we call a list of the a directory where it will be a represent. It means a list of the file it will represent. And same next a command that we have a cd. So that is used for the go to a directory where one drive to another drive or one folder to another folder. So that is the way that we called change the directory. Like I have to go for a download folder, then I have write down cd space after a download. It means that folder name. So let's we go for ls. So it's give a list of the all file which is available in a root directory. So here you can see there is a one text file cyber, then document, there is a one exe file hacking, picture, template, desktop, document, music, public and video. Now here you also you observe one things, a few it's represent as a blue and few it's represent as a white. So those are the folder, it's represent as a blue color, and those are the file, it's represent as a white color. Again I repeat, those are the folder, it's represent blue color, and those are the file, it's represent a white color. So that is the command ls, that's give the list of directory. Now next that we have a cd, and like for example I have redirect to a document folder. So I have typed cd space documents. So now you can see, observe, after root curly, so it's a represent a slash document. It means I'm currently redirect to a document folder. Now like in this I have to know which are the file it's available. So again I have typed ls. So it's you can see just only one file it's available, hello.txt. Now for example if I type a pwd, so now you can see it's give the entire path in a root. In this you currently located where a document folder. So there is a two command, ls and cd. Like if you back out, or you can again move to write your root directory, so then how you go back. So again same command, cd space and two dot. Like again I repeat, if you go for outside the document folder, then how you go for that. So that is the command cd space dot dot, and then you have to make a enter. So now you can see I left to a document drive. Now next again both are the similar command in Windows as well as the Linux. Mkdir, so that is again same, make a directory. Like if you create any folder or directory, so then use mkdir and space that name. Same way to like rmdir and then a space if you deleted some specific folder. So let's we go for that example. mkdir. So first of all I go for like ls. So you can see that are the list of file. So like I use mkdir space, and like I'm create a same workshop subject folder. So now you can see it's no error. So how I know whether a folder is created or not? So again I have to run ls command. So now you can see compared to previous result, workshop that is added. Again it's added with a blue color. It means that that folder or directory, it will be a created. Now for example, if you enter into the that folder, so then I have to cd space and that name. So now you can see it's a redirect to that workshop. Now the next command, that is a rm, remove a directory. So I have type rm dir and then workshop name. So now you can see it's not any error. So how I know okay it's deleted or not? So again I have to check a list of directory. So now you can see it's compared with a previous the workshop folder, it will be a remove. It means okay, it will be a deleted. Now the next and last two command, that is the clear screen. Sray off your video. The next command, that is a clear. It means for example if you clear your terminal which previously you run a many more command, so you can use a command that we call a clear screen. Next command that we have a if config. So it's similar to Windows where we type a IP configure. Now in if config, again you get like what is your IP address, what is your subnet, MAC address, INS address, DNS detail. Again same thing. Like in Ubuntu, I have to know okay, what is my IP address and how I know. So you have to type a command that we called a if configure. So we go for that example. First of all, we learn the command that is a clear screen. Now I have to type a clear and then I have to press a enter. So now you can see my previous all history terminal, it will be a clear. Now the next command, that is a if configure. If then config and then press the enter. So now you can see the IP address that is the my system right now is 192.168.115.134. The inet address, that is meaning your IP address, that is your subnet detail. So that all detail where you get from the if config command, which is a similar to IP config from a Windows command. There is a questions. What is the role of has? Just has is a point out okay, where you have to write down that a specific command. That is a note any specific meaning of has. there is a questions सर जैसे हम सी लैंग्वेज में क्लियर स्क्रीन का शॉर्ट फॉर्म लिखते हैं वैसे हमें यहाँ यूज कर सकते हैं. No, that is only for a clear command. That is a short form. It's not working in a Linux platform. You have to type entire clear. So we completed our second practical, okay, where we get detail regarding a basic to OS. So let's again, I open the workshop syllabus. So that is your workshop GTU syllabus. And if you go for a practical list, so we have a second practical. A student has learned a basic Windows and Linux shell command. So that we already know that a basic 10 command for Windows as well as the basic 10 command for the Linux, or we call a Ubuntu. But if you go for like we in detail, though, that have 1,000 plus more command, and that all command where you learn in higher semester, where you have some specific related to a subject at that time. So as a first year student, you just aware about a list of all basic command, which is helpful for your uh, introduction to regarding the OS. Okay, what is the meaning of Windows and what is the meaning of Ubuntu, and that how where we learn that basic command. Now in a Windows, okay, where we go for a command prompt, and in a Ubuntu or Linux, okay, where we go for the terminal. So now any query in that basic command. So now the one more and important instructions, you have to join a Google Classroom. Just reply how many students right now it not join a Google Classroom, or if you face the any difficulty. Those are the right now join the student. All 22 student it's already joined the Google Classroom workshop subject, a Google Classroom that I have to discuss. Or any student face any issue, then type your issue in chat box. There is a one student not join in Google Classroom. Just roll number 73, go for your WhatsApp group. Before 2 to 3 days, I'll post one message in your WhatsApp group where you get a link regarding that. And I hope by end of the day, you join that Google Classroom. There is a questions, sir, we have to make any book for this subject. No, you have to not require any book or any lecture note. Just after 2 minutes, I go for your lab manual and how you can upload that lab manual into the your Google Classroom, that I have to discuss. So again, I repeat, any query in practical 1 or 2 as well as the regarding a Google Classroom joining, because then and then we move to our lab manual part. Yes, that I have to teach Arnav how to make and how to upload. Yes, I shared the link. Urva, again, I've shared the link in WhatsApp group. Don't worry. So let's I already take a screenshots. Those are the right now a list of student join as attendance purpose. For the workshop subject, no book needed. Dharmik, I'm only talking about a computer side to practical. But if you move to next week electrical and maybe that subject faculty ask, then you have to make it. Only for the computer to practical, you have to not require to make any lecture note. Okay, now the lab manual is visible, PDF file, subject computer workshop lab manual. Okay, thank you for your response. So that a document which have a 18 number of page, and that already I have uploaded in your e-container. So you have to just download that file. That is a basic certificate. It's not required to. So now in this certificate where you have to write down your name, your class, your enrollment number is right now not generated, but here you have to write down your roll number, and here you have to write down the subject name. That detail you have to fill it. Again, I repeat, your name, your class, desk, your batch, then your roll number, subject, that is a workshop. That detail you have to not fill it, and that is your, like you can see the experiment one that we see like today, a list of all command with that screenshot I have already provided, that all detail. Same way to Ubuntu, so that all list of command I have to provide it. Then a second practical that is regarding HTML basic, so that all detail and meaning I have already provided. So now you have to just fill your second page where you have to write down your name, your class, dates, your batch, and your roll number and workshop name. So that detail you have to manually edit. Then after you have to upload that document into the Google Classroom. Today I have created that link. Then you get one notifications regarding uploading of that file. Again, I repeat that a doc file regarding the lab manual, which already I uploaded in your e-container. So you have to just go through your e-content, download that a doc file where you have to write down your name, your enrollment number, your class, and that directly a file you have to upload in Google Classroom where I have to create one link, then you can upload it. So that is a ready-made lab manual. You have to nothing add, just only add regarding a second page your basic detail. So now any query regarding the lab manual? Yes, you have to fill only just a second page. I already give two practical title, that all detail with that screenshot and that explanations. You have to nothing to make your practical file. I already give a ready-made lab manual where you have to just add your basic detail, your name, class, and roll number and subject name only. Yes, a date and subject in charge and head of department, that all detail are blank. And that one student ask a time limit. I think 2 week it's a sufficient 2 week time, or can I extend more? I know it's just 5 to 10 minute task, but maybe a new admission can add it. That's why I want to set a 2 week time, because maybe if you students are not joined Google Classroom, the within a 2 or 3 day it will be a join. That's why. So again, I repeat, today officially in a workshop subject, a computer side practical, that all we completed. Now the next week onwards, in a same subject, the one faculty from electrical department that teach all electrical practical. I think it's a teach like a 4 to 5 week, And then after last 2 months where you move to a mechanical part, and then your subject it will be a completed. Again I repeat, to any query from to practical from computer sites, and I have already joined in WhatsApp group. If you have any query, to feel free to send me a message in a WhatsApp personally. If you're facing any error to joining Google Classroom, or if you not understand how to upload that file in Google Classroom, then you can send me the message in a personally in a WhatsApp group. So thank you, student. You can left the meeting. We have to only fill a 2 page only. Yes, a second page that you have to fill only. So thank you, student. You can left the meeting. Yes, I will take the attendance. Those are the right now joined student. Don't worry regarding your attendance. There's a question. No need to type roll number. Yes, Shreya. I take a screenshot of list of all students. You get attendance. Don't worry.